Recording started. I hope you are all able to see my screen, right? Good. And 1 second, let me just record
Recording in
this
progress.
on this system also. Okay, today we will start with the text related operations. Okay, what are the text operations we can do it with Power Query Editor. See, even with the DAX commands, also you can do the text manipulation. Okay, you can do substring, all kind of text related manipulations you can do it. And just give me a second here. My Right, so yeah, so that's what we discussed about the pivoting also in the last session. We discussed about pivot and unpivot. So what is pivot? To convert the rows into columns. That is what pivoting. We discussed about pivoting also. Unpivot is opposite of that one, turning columns into rows. That is what unpivot. And today we will continue with something called group by, and also we will look at the query parameter and even the language related commands, a little bit commands on that side also. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so what we will do is to start with this. Just give me a second here. I am getting some calls. Rajesh, yeah, I sent you all the details. I'll call you back later. Hmm? Okay, so we will do some kind of basic things. We will take a look at here, and like so. This is my 1 second. Let me just. So this is my Power BI desktop. Okay, forget about this color and all. Okay, so you can change the color also. View, and you can just change it back here. Okay, this is what my canvas. Let me do one thing. Some changes are pending here. There are some creating connection in model. See, when it comes to app.powerbi.com, how many have you have created the login credentials? I guess none of you, right? See, don't worry about that one now. Okay, and we will probably, we will work on, we'll be working on the Power BI service a little later. Okay, after a week or 2 week later, right? 2 week later, we'll look at it. So, just for you to understand how to work with Power BI, app.powerbi, I showed you the other day. There is no rush. Look here. So app.powerbi. So if you go and register it, what will happen? See, look here. PP my trial version 0 days left. Today it is going to get expired. So your free premium per user trial will expire in 1 day. And thing is, while registering almost 60 days they are giving it for trial period, and almost 60 days I register it here. So it will ask you the credit card detail and all, but they don't deduct anything. For registration purpose, I think they are asking for the credit card details. You can confidently give it, nothing will happen. But the problem with the Power BI services, Microsoft is expecting us to use the official ID. If you don't have the office ID, you cannot do it. Okay, so I have my only one ID is there. With that, I created it here. Okay, so you can probably use your official ID. There is no harm in using your official ID. It is not going to spam your official email ID. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, office email ID. There is some other alternate he has given, but I have not yet tried. Okay, So I share that video, someone's video, right? I saw someone's video. I'll just share it to you. You just give it a try with that one. The simple and straightforward way is get your friends or relatives, somebody's official email ID, or use your official email ID and create it. It's pretty straightforward. Otherwise, it's a roundabout way. Lot of confusions are there. Okay, and you cannot use more than one ID also. Let's say you are working in your company and you are creating more than one ID in the Power BI. It is not possible. It's listen, it's a bit. I was literally tired of this one. The Power Microsoft. Even I tried to purchase Power BI Pro, and Power BI Pro also was causing some problem. Okay, even to make the payment and buy it, lot of formalities are there. He's asking about GST number, all these things. I don't know why so many formalities. Individual, probably you can explore it. Okay, but simple and straightforward. It's not like other tool. You go ahead and so even Tableau, if you want buy it, you can go and buy, make the payment and buy it. But the cost is very very high. Tableau and all, you cannot buy it. And ClickSense, you have something called ClickSense. I think they are also giving a lifetime free thing. But when it comes to enterprise level, a lot of features are available, like Power BI. There also the cost is cheaper. Okay, and if you want to, but if you want to buy some tool, they should give some link, and whichever user ID or email ID which we use, they are supposed to accept it and sell it. Why so many formalities? Official email ID is required, and on top GST number, all the things is asking. Okay, that is the biggest headache with this tool. Otherwise, cost wise, everything is cheaper, but only thing is, let me also see, explore, is there any other order, because instead of wasting our time in non-productive area, like exploring other way to access all these things. Today Power BI, tomorrow something else there. Later point in time you will repent, man, I wasted 2 days time in exploring this, creating an ID, right? Better you get an official email ID, do that one. Otherwise also in fact I asked my people to explore it, see how best we can help others, okay, to create the roundabout way of doing it. Okay, we'll see to that. But again, if you create it now, the trial period will start from today. Okay, see, for me already I exhausted the 60 days. I don't want you to run into this situation. Probably wait for a week or two, right? Afterwards you can try creating this even with your official email ID, because the longer the day you have it, longer the duration you have it, you will have more time to practice it. Anyhow, we are going to work with Power BI desktop for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then only we'll be working on the Power BI service, the workspaces, how to create workspaces, and how to create the content pack, all those things. Okay, how to create row level security also we can do it with Power BI. Everything you can do it with Power BI. Only thing is, in workspace you can enable your peers or others to view your report by sharing your reports to others, sharing everything. For that purpose we'll be using Power BI service. Apart from this, data refresh, for example, your report data should get refreshed frequently, right? Some more frequently on a daily basis, something like that. We can schedule the data refresh. For that purpose, we can go there and work there. In simple term, don't worry about app.powerbi now. Okay, let's wait for a week or two. Later sometime, right? After 2 weeks or so, you can try creating a user ID or something. In the meanwhile, let me also see, is there any other way I can help you out. But don't rely on me. Better you can use your office ID. Most of the people, right, they created like that only. Okay, you can use your official email ID and create it. Or best thing, if you have brothers or cousins, right, definitely they must be working. You tell them it is not for hacking, nothing. It is not going to ask any OTP number, nothing. Okay, only if it is asking OTP, they can think about security, all the issues. Otherwise, no issues. You can simply go ahead and use it. Okay, now we will jump into the back to our Power Query editor. Let me just open this one. Yeah, let me just simply some error in sales. Yes, last week we discussed about the how to invoke a function, right? Custom invoke function, right? So that also we discussed. As part of that, you learned how to create a blank query and all. So this is a blank query, right? In the blank query, just right click and create new query. So new query or some blank query. When you select blank query, you need to type something like that, okay? And for this purpose, we use it. Apart from this, for calendar table, if you want to create a calendar table, also we'll be using this kind of function, okay? We'll create some date table. When it comes to Power BI, you are supposed to create a separate date table. Even if you don't create it, behind the scene Power BI creates the date table. The issue with the default date table created by Power BI software is it is it is kind of redundant, okay? It creates the date table redundantly. For example, you have a table, order table. In the order table you have order date, ship date, and you have some other due date, something like that, right? If you have three or more date columns are there in your data set, it will create that many number of date tables in your Power BI tool, okay? The Power BI automatically creates the date table. So to overcome that, we need to go to options and settings. We need to disable that one, okay? Automatic calendar table, don't create it. And then we'll have to create the date table manually. If you have the data available in Excel sheet, simply you can upload it here. Anyhow, we will discuss about that little later. It is a little early to discuss about that calendar table and all. Okay, let me just remove this one. Okay, this is the one. Let me just close and apply. Yeah, we have done this. So this is my data set, sales W04, okay? So I just already imported this one, and using home, go to home and get data and Excel workbook, and then wherever you stored this one. Anyhow, we will work on some other data file also, don't worry. Today I'll show you how to work with other different data sets also, okay? So this is where you need to go here and select all files and sales W04, okay? Just click open, it will open it, okay? And then you can find that table name on the right side here, okay? The fields pane. In the fields pane, when you expand this one, you will see all these things, okay? Now we will work on the transform data. This is what my Power Query editor. As I told you, yes, data is available. How good the data? Okay, do we need to do any data cleaning or data pre-processing? That is when we will have to use data query editor. First you need to import the data. Second step is go to Power Query editor and clean up your data. If you have any value which you see something like error, it is of no use, okay? Then why should I use this one? Remove this one. Offer values, some error is there, entire column we have an error. I just removed it here, but we are removing it everything in the memory only. We are not removing it from the operating system file. Usually when you start work on a real-time project, they will not give you an access, direct access. They will give you only read access. All you need to just import it here. Using the tool only you can view the data like this, okay? You can view this. You cannot open the Excel file and all in the real time. .csv file, Excel file, you cannot open it. And again, it is not the good practice to open that from the operating system. Fine. So here, let us see what is order. See, this is my order date, right? So this is my order date column, and if I just want to duplicate this column, okay? Look here, I have order date column got copied here. So what I do is, here if you go to transform, and you will find something called date icon here. Can you see it? In the transform ribbon, you can see year, month, quarter, week, day. With this you can extract year alone from your column, okay? You can extract only year. Look here, I just selected year alone. So next one is I just go here, and this is one painful thing. You need to duplicate the column. Look here, the same column I duplicate it as many times as possible. You can duplicate it one more time, and here I don't want to. Look here, I just go to this one and day year, and supposing you want to extract month alone, you can select month. Okay, this one will have month only, and here you need to select this one and go to date, and for example if you want to extract date, this is another way of extracting data. So in the last session or in the previous session we discussed about how to split the values from the date column, right? You can split the date also, or the alternative way is this one. So but here you have a lot of flexibility. Look here, splitting is fine. You can split the year, month, date and all separately, fine. But if you supposing you want to split something like day of the, for example I just duplicate here, for example. So if you go here and you want something like, right, day of week, day, right? If you wanted to have something like day here, right, so day alone it is coming here. Or for example if I want to revoke it, I just revoked it. And if you want to select something like name of day, whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So this 31st July 2012 was Tuesday, but how do we know that, right? The splitting column is fine. For example, look here, this is my date column, right? So I just right click here and we have some here split column is there, and based on the delimiter we can split it, right? So wherever the hyphen is there, just see hyphen, but this is hyphen, and what you do is split, select or enter delimiter. If I specify the delimiter, it splits the, like, it splits something like this, right? So 31/7/2012 it's splitted into 3 different things. But how will you get the name of the day? So on 31st July, what day was that? Was that a Monday or Tuesday? How will you do that? So you will have to manually go and check the calendar. That is a painful thing, right? So that is a painful thing. And also it is not advisable if you go and do it manually, right? So it's not the right thing. 1 second. Sorry, I thought the connection was dropped. Okay, fine. So here, this is what we will look at. The date-related transformation. Okay. So with this we can extract the data without spending much time or writing any extra code. Okay. This is a pretty simple way of doing it. For example, this is the select here and select the ribbon. Okay, so if you are in home ribbon, you will not find it in the transform. First step is select the column. Step 2 is select the ribbon transform. On the right side of this one you will find date, and if you wanted to extract the name of day, you can do it. So this one is done automatically. You don't have to do it. So if it is 3 days, 4 days, then you can go and check manually the calendar, what day was the day, and you can fill it out. But if you are dealing with thousands and thousands of records, millions of records, you cannot go and check manually. Instead, you can leverage this function. And we have something else called time. Time at this moment, let's not worry about the time and all. Okay. So the next one is pass. Pass gives me error here. For example, here if I go here, order date and date function, so if you convert anything, right, you can parse it whether that has any formatting error or something like that. Okay, after you do the transformation. Anyhow, in our case it is a weekday, we don't need to do anything here. So with this itself you can extract year alone or start of the year. For example, 2012, what is the start of the year, okay, and end of the year, you can find out and for the specific year, right? Start of year, and for example, we'll try this one. So because you should be good with the date columns also. So this is the one I selected. Go here and year, okay, and start of year. So 1/1/2012, right? So 1/1/2000. If you want to convert, irrespective of the day, you want to convert it like the start of the year, end of the year, something like that. Okay. So in some countries, January 1st is the calendar year. The calendar is common to all. The financial year. The financial year is 1st January for US. Okay. In that case, right, we want to do some calculation. I want to, irrespective of the day, month, I want the first day of the year. Okay, in that case, you can use this one. Day, start of year or end of year, and month, right? Start of month, end of month, days in month, name of month, whatever you want, you can. So month on month, if you want to do some kind of comparison, right? So month on month sales performance you wanted to know. So select this column and go here, and you can name of month also you can select it. It will extract only. Okay, this is July month, and Tuesday on 31st. 31st Tuesday, 31st July 2012. You got all the information, right? You got everything here. With the help of this, you can do it. Okay. So that is the beauty of the date functions here. Okay. And supposing you wanted to find out the given date, I just want to revoke it. This is my order date copy 3. I just say order date. You can rename it by selecting it. Just for this, just for my sake, I just copy it like this. Here what I do is date table dot, we have something called one second, I just go here. Copy to, see, all we did was just we selected everything from this menu, right? One second, I just go here. I just revoke it to get back to my previous format, the date format. Look here, I got the date. I just selected it, and whichever format that you needed, or if you want only the month, or month in terms of numbers, or start of month or end of month, days in month, name of month, right? All these options are available. Okay. And here you have something called earliest. So 1/1/2001. So with this we can find out what is the minimum the date or the maximum date. Okay, that is also you can find out. And one second, just let me revoke this. Yeah. So you understood, right, how to use this one. If you all need to select this one and go to transform, second step. The third step is go to date and go and check it here. Okay. So this is you can try other options, latest or earliest, on the latest day of this transaction. If you want to see it, right, latest day of the transaction, if you want, you can select it. You can find out. You can do all kind of date related thing here. Okay. And supposing you wanted to find out, let's say, I just say order day 2. I'm going to create a custom column. Go to add column and custom column. So here what I do is I just say date dot, see, lot of date functions are available here. I just type date, see, look here, date dot add days, add months, add weeks. With the existing column itself, if you want to add days, you can add it. Okay. And you can find out the end of month. These are the end of day, right, functions that are date functions that are available here. supposing I wanted to know date dot is leap year. Okay, we are saying a leap year of order date. So I just want to find out is order date is a leap year or not. Okay, there is a leap year was not recognized. Let me just date dot is leap year. You can select it from here, and then what you do is you just select the order date, and then it is throwing an error, right? So it is 1 2 3. So order date is number only, right? So date data type, order date is a date data type only here, right? So fine. So what I am going to do is, so I am trying to show you with different M language related functions. Date dot is leap year. Date, like other programming language, even the M language is also case sensitive. Okay, this is a function. Okay, and what we do is order date, and then I'm going to use this one, and then I just create it here. Yeah, now it is working fine. I did not specify parenthesis. So this is M language, right? I just you type this one, date is leap year. This is a function. So what is a function? In the last session I discussed. I gave you some layman example also, right? The function is something. The function is a reusable code. Function is a reusable code, right? So once create it once and create it once and call it many times. So the example which I gave was this one, salary calculation, net salary. If you want to create the net salary for each and every employee in your company, right? So create a function one time. So that function you can call it for each and every employee. That's all. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So you don't have to use the same formula multiple times for each and every employee. You don't have to do it. Simply you say, for example, your function name you have given like this: calculate net salary. After salary, after deduction. When I say function, you need to remember this one. Okay. Open parenthesis and closed parenthesis. See, this is open parenthesis, closed parenthesis. Calculate underscore net salary. So any function, so similarly look here, this is a DAX function, this is a M language function. This function was created by someone else. We don't have to worry about that. Thank God someone has already created this function. This is called built-in function. Built-in M language function. Though I told you, we don't have to write any M language related program. Okay, but still, if you want to do some kind of additional date related operations, right? So in that case, you need to use the date functions that are available as part of M language. So we have something called date dot is leap year and date dot year, using which you can extract year alone. Okay. So here, all I did was I created a new column, custom column. In that I use this function. So here I just selected this one. Look here, I just revoke this one again. So I just go to add column, custom column. Here I just want to say date dot is leap year. So this is already created by someone else, hence it is readily coming here. If you mistakenly type the syntax, you can easily type it. This is called code completion facility. So this is what called as code completion facility. For example, if I type just is, if you don't remember leap year, okay, yes, leap year is, this is the syntax. Okay, fine. Since it is a function, you need to use the open parenthesis. Okay, so we wanted to find out whether a given year is a leap year or not. right? So we need to find out. So which column, which date column should I use it? I'm interested in seeing order date. Just click on this one. It will automatically get copied here, and then you need to close this. Many of them, they don't do this. If you do this, if you find something underlined, right, that means some syntax error. So here in this case I did not use the closed parenthesis. Since I told you your function should have open and closed parenthesis. In programming, you take any programming language, this is the rule. You method, they call it a method or function. There is a difference between method and function. I don't talk about function. If in any programming language, if you find any word followed by this, for example, in this case the word is leap year, followed by open, that means this is a function. So why a function? It's a reusable code. You can, once you create a function, it can be reused. See, somebody else has created already. We are reusing their function, right? All we need just give a month, date, year. It tells you whether it's a leap year or not. Otherwise, what you do, you need to manually write a program to check whether this is a leap year or not. That's a painful thing, right? So here there is a readily available function date.isLeapYear. So instead of this, I just selected this, and if I click OK, some mistake happened here. One second, I just that's what you need to be a bit cautious. I just select one second, not this one, the last column, right? So order date to here, order date I selected it, okay, or what I do is here, but in any case it should not have caused that problem. Date dot isLeapYear, better you select it here, and then inside the parenthesis you just select we have created this one, right? Order date 2. Yeah, order date 2. You select it and close it, and then look here. Here you see anything, right? No syntax errors have been detected. That means you're all set to do this one. Wait for some. Now we can see true, false. What is true? Okay, and 2012 is a leap year, and 2003 13. So whichever year is a leap year, for that for that row, for that corresponding row, it flagged true. So this is okay. So again it is true. 2012 is true. It flags either true or false. Which function? Is leap year. So with this you should be able to understand. Okay, so true. Better you can filter it here instead of saying, right, which all years are leap year. Just select it here. Okay, you have only 2012. Only 2000 is a leap year. Okay, good. So if you have any, let's say you have multiple years are there, right? So with this simple function, you should be able to find out whether you have leap year or not in your. So how many number of records or which year was a leap year, you can find out. Okay. Similarly, instead of using this one, right? Instead of using this one. What I'm going, I'll just revoke this one, or else you have something called in the view. Okay, you just advanced editor, go to view, advanced editor. Say initially the navigation will be confusing, but don't worry. See, add column, table.add column, is leap year. So the simple way is I'm going to use another function here, simple. For example, no, I don't want to see the leap year. I just want to extract only the year from this. Is there any way I can get here? Look here, just select it from here. That's it. Simply click done. Look here, it extracted the year. So now you might be having this question. So here, when I selected, one second, when I selected this column, and if I go to the menu in the transform ribbon, if I go to date, and you have an year, if I select year, I can get year, see, this is manually going and doing it, but programmatically, how do I do that? So you should be learning how to, you should be learning this one also, how to programmatically change the advanced editor. Go to advanced editor. Instead of manually extracting the date, right, is there any way I can extract it using the function. Okay, how can I do that? Okay, here I removed it, right? Okay, here what I do is simply what you select and go here and transform, and you can still rely on this. Okay, in here, for example, here something called okay, I have created a custom column, right? The custom column, I removed it. What we will do is we'll go and create it one more time. So here I just say year. Okay, so there is a date. See, in the interview they'll ask you, can you tell me a few M language related functions? Okay, you need to say date dot year, date dot month. These are the things are available. These are the functions that I have used it. M language functions that I used it. So here, so if you specify like this, the new column for the order date, it will create, it will extract only the year from this one. I'll just show you here. See, without disturbing this, it is not disturbing this, right? But if you go and select this one, date, and if you extract year, what happens? The entire column gets replaced. It extracts the year, but it replaces the existing column as year column, right? Year. But I don't want the existing column to be disturbed. Should not be disturbed. I don't want the existing column to be disturbed. Let the existing column remain as it is, but I want to create a new column. In that column, I just want to store the year, extract the year from this. For that, we have used this function, added column. Yeah, added column, right? This is the one we used it. Say date dot year, order date 2, right? So that's what we have used it here. We can extract it here. Supposing you want to extract month only from this, how can you do that? How can you do that? Same step. Add column, custom column. I just repeat it since you guys are new one. I just repeat this. If you guys are able to understand, tell me. I will continue the next topic. Okay. If I teach you the same thing again, you will feel bored. If you guys say no, I'm able to understand, then it is fine. So order date 2, just select this. From the order date 2 column, I just want to extract only month. Okay. Okay, misspelled. Okay, here I just type 2 times. Look here, 2 times, right? So you can correct. This is how you should be able to fix the error. Even if you make a mistake, you should know how to do troubleshooting. Okay, and once you get into a project, no one will come for your help. You should do everything on your own. Okay, because everybody is busy, and also everyone expect you to be on your own. Okay, so now we extracted month and year, and now this column remains as it is. We can do comparison also. Okay, 7. Okay, 7 alone. 7th month got extracted, year got extracted, and what all the things? What are the other things that I can? So go to the custom column. Same thing. All you need to do is just type date. That's all. See, you can get month name. If you just want to get right month name alone, you can extract month name. And if you want to extract year, week of year, week of month, date type to text, date to text. If you want to convert it to text, you can do it. To record start of the week, start of the quarter, you name it anything, you can extract. And also you can do some kind of checking. Is in next minute or not, date time, right? So your date time function is also available, and date time function we'll see it later. Date function you try to understand. Okay, so month name, and we have something else like okay, date dot, for example, see date dot day, right? So date dot day, and day of week name, and day of week, and name of the day. Year, day or day name, day of week name. Day of week name. That's what, it's very difficult to remember all the commands. So that's the reason why they are giving something like this. Okay, with this you should be just select it, and then you just open the parenthesis, and then just go to select your order column, date column. In my case, the date column is this one. I am going to select this one, and you can select. So guys, don't think only order date this one will work. Any date column, these functions will work. Instead of order date, you can specify the ship date, or you can specify other date, or ship date or due date. If you have any other date, you can specify it there. But in my case, ship date is showing it as a text data type, hence I am not using that one. Order date is already converted as a date data type, hence I am using that one. So date dot, see here mistakenly 2 times the date came here, right? So ideally, only one time, date dot day of week name. Since I selected from the drop down menu, it printed it everything from the beginning. Date, only one time should be the date. Okay, 2 times the date is there. If I select it, see here, though it shows no syntax error, if I select it, it will show you. So was not to make sure it's spelled correctly. So what you do is, just when you look at this, you should be able to understand. Oh man, I mistakenly got typed 2 times. It's supposed to be like this, date dot day of week name. Okay, when you press enter, so the new column will get created. You can go to the extreme right side, you can see. So it is a custom because we did not give any name here. So what you can do is, you can say the day. You can just click on this and click it is a day. Programmatically, we are how to change this one. Manually, we just go and click, and okay, so go and click, fine. But to extract, you can use split option. You write using split, you can split it, but the day functions are very much helpful. Okay, so the programmatically you can extract the weekday name and month, even month name and year, and whether the current year or last year is a leap year, which all years are leap year, which all years are non-leap year. Everything, someone has already written the function. The functions are readily available, like this one, right? So date dot is leap year, date dot day of week name. What is that? This one is. So you can go to the, if you want to see the commands, right? The command that you typed it, and go to advanced editor. Advanced editor will show you everything. We have something called let and in. There are 2 blocks are there, let and in block. We don't have to worry too much about this, okay, at this moment. Since you are completely new into programming, I don't want to tell everything now. You will get scared. See, date dot day of week name. This is the function which is readily available. So this is the function developed by someone already. This is the function already developed by someone. All I have to do just so which column I wanted to find out the name of the day, right? So in my case, order date. All you need to do is, you need to specify the column which you wanted to use it to find out the week name, or for which date column you want to find out the day name. So you need to specify the column name. That's all. It's pretty easier, right? But here you need to use the syntax here, square bracket. You don't have to worry about this. When you go there, it automatically use this one. Okay, the custom column I showed, right? When you select the order date, automatically it selects the order date, and also it puts the order date inside the open square bracket. This is called square bracket. Look here, this is called your square bracket. This is called a closed bracket. Okay. So it automatically puts the day. When I double click on the date column, order date 2, sorry, I selected order date 2. It selected the order date 2, but it put the square bracket inside the square bracket. This is syntax, okay? Program. So what you need to do is just copy this and paste it inside. So it automatically it was done automatically. by the tool. Okay, we don't have to do anything explicitly. It is done. It has been taken care automatically. So day of week name is leap year, and what are the other function? How do I extract date? Year from the this column. So you have something like year function readily available, right? So order date. The order date column. If I want to extract the year alone, which function? Date dot year. So gradually you need to understand the complex concepts also, because other training centers, right, just because the non-IT people are there, to please them. So don't say, M language, I did not use it. I just did, click, and I just clicked the menu and then I did everything. Rest of them took care of M language. Don't say like that, okay? So yes, M language also I used it. So I used date related M language functions like leap year and day of week name and year, month. For example, I just copy pasted. So here, so instead of year, month, right? Month. Month and day. If you want to extract a day, you can copy paste, right? So you can tell them day, month, year functions, as sort of date I used it. If you say like this, it's fine. So apart from date, did you use any other function? Like we have something called text function, okay? Text function, and list function is available. I just type it here, list function, text function. Like date, different types of function are listed, text, and table function is also available. Table function. So today we have seen the date related functions and then text related function also. Now let us take a look at it. I just go here and I just select Power Query Editor. How do I select? Transform data. Already data is there. I loaded it here. It is getting loaded. Wait for some time and look here. So here, see wherever ABC you say the column name, along the column name, if you see ABC, those are text column. Though this is a number value, we can see it in row ID column, but still it is in text data type. Okay. Anyhow, we are not going to use row ID also. Let us not worry about row ID. Let us take some text column and play around with it. Okay, play around with it. So this is an order ID, so a text data type. Text data type. And what I do is I just go to the transform, and then here I have see, look here, data type is, it shows here itself text, right? And detect data type. So this function is with this also we can find out what data type this column is. This alternative way of seeing it. So you might be wondering, so just on the left side of the column name itself we can see ABC. ABC is text data type. Then why should I use detect data type? This is just another alternative way of checking which column has what a data type. If you click this, it will tell you it's a text data type. That's all. And we will see the extract ABC one. Look here. You have something called ABC 123. ABC is this one. If you want to find out the length of this column, right, you just select length. What is the length of this one? 14. The first row, the order ID, the length of the order ID is 14. Second row, the length of the order ID is 13. So look here, text dot length function is used here. Text dot length, like date dot year, text dot length. The text functions will start with text dot, okay, text dot length, text dot remove, likewise, okay, it will start like this, okay. And also if I wanted to find out something like, all the options are available here. You can revoke here, calculated text length, you just revoke it. See order ID. But when I do any kind of extraction, look here, if I go here, extract first characters. If you want to extract only the first 2 character or 3 character and store it in a separate column, we can do it. Extract first character. So I want to extract only the first 2 characters, count to 2. If I click OK and see what happens here. See first 2 characters only extracted. It extracted only first 2 characters and rest of them it discarded. Right? Okay. Now So text undertow and dot start learning these functions also, gradually. Okay, text dot function, square bracket, sorry, the parenthesis, underscore, comma, 2. That means the current column, extract the first two characters. That is what this command says. Now I revoke it. So now we will explore some other text functions. Last characters, if you want to extract last 4 or 5, it's the same thing. And also you have something called range function. Okay, sorry, range option, starting index, from starting to, and right, from starting to number of characters. Okay, number of characters 5, starting 1 to 5 I want to extract it. So you have another option, which range to which range. See, if you are allowed to extract only the first two characters, last two characters, right, then how will you extract the desired number of characters? For example, you want to extract from first to first 6 characters or 10 characters, right? So that's the reason why they can text middle, the middle value. If you want to extract the middle, text dot middle. And if you want to remove certain things, right, you have something like remove function is also available. For example, you just go here and extract, and here remove is not there. Okay, so okay, let me do one thing. I just select this one, certain things, right? Select how many characters to keep, extract 2 characters. Okay, so this is the command for this. Okay, and what I do is I just go to the view. Here you can see the advanced editor. So what is these things? We see so many things, right? What are they? What are they? See, whatever on the right side, you see it here. Look here. On the right side, can you see it on the right side? I am just moving my cursor here. Right, replaced value 1, changed type 1. What all the changes we have done it, right? That is the one it is maintained here. What function? So for each step, what function has been used? Duplicate column. I duplicated the order date column. You remember it, right? So for that, in order to do the duplicate, what command from the M language side it used it behind the scene, right? Order date under hyphen copy 1, something like that. Okay, and look here, in this case month, we extracted month, right? So added custom, and table dot add column and rename columns. I rename the column, right? I rename the column as day, right? So I renamed the column day and something month and all, right? So renamed as custom day, order date copy, something like that. Okay, and removed columns, order ID, I just removed it, right? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, transform column, I did not remove it. Transform columns, order ID. Yeah, we extracted only 2 characters. Okay, and then we removed the existing column, and then say we extracted first two characters, and then we removed the values from the column, and then we replace that with this one too. Transform columns is another function. These are the table related functions. Rename columns. See, in the interview they'll ask you what are the M language functions used it. So in the M language there are 4 categories, are there, common categories. One is date dot year, date dot month, date dot end of month. Similarly, in the case of text dot middle, text dot start, text dot remove is also available, right? Text dot before delimiter, and similarly the table related operations, right? So if you wanted to rename a column or transform a column, right? So rename a column, table dot rename column, table dot duplicate column. These are the functions are available. You can tell them like this. Okay, so there are 2 blocks here. One is the let and in. See, this is a let block. In the let block you can see all the variables. Okay, the definition of all the variables, whatever the steps that you have done it by clicking it or by modifying the M language, right? Everything got registered here on the right side, the applied steps, and the corresponding commands used behind the scene are recorded or made part of your let block. This is called let block, and the in block, the output of your query. See, finally you arrived this one, right? You applied all the steps and finally extracted first characters. This is the one, the output of this one, okay? The output of your query, that is what it shows. So these are all called your, look here, this is the source. The source is called as a variable, okay, variable name, right? But it corresponds to the individual steps in the applied steps. Right? This is the applied steps pane. So this is the one, right? So the first one is, look here on the right side. If you go here, and if you go up, you have something called source and promoted headers, right? When you go and see the advanced editor, for each step, what commands were used behind the scene, you can see. For source, csv.document. This is the command you used it. Promoted headers, table.promote headers, table.replace, and then what we replace the value. What value we replaced? Order date. Wherever hyphen was there, we replaced them by forward. You understood, right? What all the steps that we did it as part of the Power Query Editor to transform our data set that got recorded under your applied steps. For each step, what M language related commands were used, that you can see in Advanced Editor. Advanced Editor is available under View menu. Hope you are all able to understand, right? So yeah, you can tell, you can say, very well, right? So it's pretty simple. Okay, the other thing is very straightforward thing, right? So if I go and see here, source, right? Or if you can extract like this, I just 1 second, I just go here. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just close and apply. I did not do any transformation, right, this time. So next I just open it again one more time, transform data. Now it shows, this time it shows some error. You'll see, wow, that error. So it was not deleted permanently. That's the problem. I would suggest you all to start practices. See, this file is already available in GitHub also, sales_w04. And this PBAX file also available in my website. You don't have to use this one itself. Anyhow, I will send you the file name, the .pba. You download my PBAX file and open it in your Power BI desktop. See, the biggest challenge with Power BI desktop, right? Every month they are coming up with new version. The older version, external tools was not available. Even I was breaking my head, to give a demo to my other batch members. The external tools was not available, and what I did, I just simply downloaded the newer version of the Power BI desktop. I installed it. With that newer version, I can see the external tools. But don't, so you probably, when you install it, right, you just check with me, can I install it or not? Don't do it on your own, right? So better now you can, download and reinstall one more time to get the latest version. See, Q&A and all, one way it is good. See, the key influencers, Q&A, all these visuals are available as part of this one. So 1 second, I don't know why the transform data is not opening. Yeah, it opened already. Okay. So here, previously I was having some error. I deleted it. Delete this group, and I don't know why it was still. So let me just delete that one also. All I need is only this one. Okay, that's all. So I have applied 1 second. Let me apply, close and apply, because we did not do any changes. Let it be there. Okay, now I open it fresh. But you need to wait, okay, until it applies all the changes. Okay, I just go here because I removed the errors. That is the reason why it is applying it. If you don't make any changes, simply if you open it, and when you try to close and apply, right, it will not do anything. Okay, and you can go here and then go to advanced editor. You can see here order date, and here something like sales is there, and replace value, right? So we have done a lot of things here, and I'll show you another example. Here we have already done everything. I'll open another file, get data, go to get data, Excel workbook. Let's say I try to import sales. And note down which all files I am selecting it now. Okay, and these files, see here I just selected big data big box sales .xlx from my operating system. It shows two tabs. Okay, you don't have to choose both. Okay, you just select the first one itself. Okay, but once you select this and wait for some time, you can see the data here clearly, right? Everything is there. Then what you do is click load. So, and then wait for some time. It will not load immediately, it will take some time. So apply changes, it will take some time to load. Okay, it got loaded now successfully. That day, this column is got loaded. Very good. And I just go ahead and see this one, right? Yeah, I just when I click this one effects, it creates a new step here. This is another way of creating your own custom M language. Okay, you can create a new column here also. Okay, and then what I just delete it, and we will just go to the view and look at the advanced editor. Here by default, as soon as you load any file, the transform column types, look here, these are the basic M language written automatically behind the scene by this one. Supposing look here, I want to move this stockist key after the consumer key. I don't want this column to be here. I want this to be here. I can just drag and drop it. Or one second, consumer key, right? Yeah, if you drag and drop the consumer key, the order will get changed. Okay, but I don't want this to be done by just doing drag and drop. Okay, instead, look here. Yeah, you need to drag and drop like this. Stockist key and consumer key. And look here, I want this stockist key to be after the consumer key. Programmatically, I have to do it. Go to advanced editor. Just maximize this. Okay, and here, but you need to do it carefully. So table reorder columns, right? Already I did the reorder once manually. What I do is I just select this one, and then in between customer key and product key it should come here. Okay, so good. So if you wanted to reorder it, reorder columns function should be used, table.reorder columns. You cannot modify it here itself. Okay, you are not supposed to do it. So you need to use a function called table.reorder columns. Here I just change the column name. I'll just minimize it for you to cross. Look here, currently stockist key is here, and I want this to be moved from in between consumer key and product number. See, consumer key and product number, I just copy pasted it here in the M language here. Okay, and click OK, done. So wait for some time. Look here, now the stockist key got moved in between customer key and product number. Now you become a M language expert, right? So now the question is, how do I know the function name reorder or reorder columns? How do I know that, right? So for that, what you do, simply you do some kind of trial and error, right? Just drag and drop some column, and then go to advanced editor, and then note down the function. Okay, and what you do is and drag and drop it to the previous position, and then whichever column that you want to change the order, you can go ahead and change it here in the reorder columns function. Here you need to change it. For example, I want the extended amount should come before unit price, or unit pro discount percent, let it be there. Any order if you want to change it, you'll have to change it inside the reorder columns function. Okay, got it? So this is my M language. M language is also very easier only, right? So you can learn it on the fly. You don't have to take a book or help, but certain things, right, you will have to refer the Microsoft document. Okay, docs.microsoft.com. If you go there, you can find Power BI related thing. I'll also share that link. You can see it. So manually you can drag and drop it, and programmatically how do we do that? You can do it like this. Okay, reorder table dot reorder columns. Try to be familiar with these functions also side by side. Next, what I will do is I just close and apply. So now my sales table is available, and I'm going to import another column. So another table, okay, another file. I just go to get data and Excel workbook, and here I have something like products table, product data, right? Yes, this is the one I'm trying to import it here. So what I would suggest, right, every you start practice whatever I did it by watching my video. Okay, and also don't literally go whatever I teach, and try with some other function also, right? Go ahead and see what are the other functions. For example, you wanted to find out how many number of days are there since the order date, right? So how do I find out number of days lasted from the date when the customer ordered? For example, you ordered 5 days back, let's say today is 20th. So 15th December someone ordered it, order date was 15th December, and you want to find out what is the how many number of days were over, right, since the date he ordered. So 5 days, right? So we know how to compute. So today minus the order date, we get the number of days since he ordered, right? So we got this one. Programmatically, how can you do? See, this you can do it for 1 or 2 records by using your brain. You can calculate and tell if it is last year or prior to last year, right? How many number of days lasted 2012 to till date. If you want to find out, you need to take longer time to compute it. For that, programmatically already functions are available. Simply pass the date column and then find out how many number of days lasted since the day he ordered. How do I find out? Right? Use your common sense and think from the real time point of view, and then start apply all the functions. Anyhow, I'll give you some assignments. You can work on the assignments also. Okay. So now I imported sales table and product table, 2 different table. We are going to understand new concept now. Again, I'll go to the transform data. If I select this, it will take me to the Power Query editor. This is where we do all kind of merging, appending. Now we will understand how to merge these 2 data sets, sales and product. Okay, because in the sales we have only product number, we don't have the product name, and then the product cost is also not available. Okay, what I do is I'll try to join these 2 tables into a single. I just join these 2 queries into a single query so that newly created query will have both the product related details and then sales related columns. Okay, I just go to transform and then I just go to merge here. What is merge? So here any column, text column, number column, date and column. Okay, date and column is not required. Number column is text column. and merge. Okay, I think it is available in the home page itself. Okay, merge queries. Actually, the merge queries should also be made part of transform, because this is also kind of a transformation only, right? Logically, it should come as part of transform. I don't know why Microsoft they kept it here. When you select merge queries, it will take some time to open this dialog box. See, since I selected the look here on the left side, say sales, right? When I selected merge, first table it considered as a sales. Okay, next, if you look here, product table. I want to join these two tables. How do we join the data from two tables? By joining the common columns, right? With the help of the common columns between these two tables, we can join two tables. That is what I trained you as part of the SQL query, right? If you want to join two employee department table, the department table was having department name, whereas employee table was having department number only. In the employee, if I want to know the employee name and department name, you need to join these two tables, employee and department table, using the common column department number. Similarly here, the common column between these two are product number. Select this product number, select these two product number. So these two product number, so these two columns are common between these two tables. We are telling the Power BI by selecting this one. Okay, when you select this one will become gray, and this one also became gray color. Hey, use these two columns, because these two columns are common between sales and product. With this common column between these two tables, you perform either left outer. See, he has given a lot of opportunity. I wanted to do some kind of left outer join, all from first matching from second. Okay, or you can do inner join also, but we will try with the left outer join and click OK. Look here on the right side, new thing will get created. Okay, so okay, wait. So when you do this, within this sales table, you can find product, but it is all something like table, right? Don't do anything. You will find some arrow like this. Okay, when you select this one, simply you don't do anything, click OK. So the product table related columns will also get expanded here within this thing. Okay, so here itself we got everything, right? So now what you do is you have the product number, and then product name is also available, and then cost, standard cost, and product color. Everything is on a single table. But if you think I don't need all these details, you can remove the product model, whichever columns you don't need it, you can remove it. See, after I removed it, what happened? Watch very carefully. See here, I just combined, merge in the sense combine these two table into single table, but it did it perfectly. But if I go here, I don't need this column. If I remove this column alone, product price is available. Yeah, correct, right? So rest of the columns are available here. Whichever column you don't need it, you can remove it. But can I remove product number here? One second, with the product number itself matched, right? Product number. If I remove this, still the other things are available. Okay, product number you removed it, still other columns are available. Okay, this is the one you merged it. Okay, fine, you are all set. So now you just go to your view. On the safer side, you can go and open the advanced editor and see what commands you used. Try to be familiar with this one, nested join and product number. So first we reordered the columns, and then we use the join, merged queries, right? Merged queries. This is what we did it. Expanded product. See, expand table column, remove column. Just have a look at this, that's all. Okay, don't remove column. After expanding that, I removed certain product number, I removed it, product color also removed it, right? So that's all. Just try to be familiar with some commands also, just literally learning point and click, right? Learn some commands, it is always good. That is what they'll expect to as part of the interview also. So now you understood merge queries, how to merge two tables. So we meshed two tables, sales and product, based on the common column product number, right? So we used full outer, full left outer, right? Left outer join we have used it. You can use inner join also, but left outer join, full left outer join is you can use it because sales table has a lot of data in it. There could be chances some products might not be available in the product table also, right, due to some typo or something like that. Okay, better you do, or you can use inner query also to merge these two tables. See, very simple one, whatever we did it in SQL query, same thing we are doing it here. See, in the SQL query, I'll just show you here. In the SQL query, for example, you have product table, select from product listen as P, comma from sales, right? First we'll say sales as yes, product as P. Here where from, right? No comma here. Yeah, wait. Where S dot product number is equivalent to P dot product number. Here we are simply specifying sales tables. Yes, right, alias. For this one is alias and short name. Okay, product start name is P. So in this table sales, the product number you match with this table's product number. That's all. The same thing we did it in the GUI. That's all. Graphical user interface, we did it. All right. Fine. So now I am done with this. I just go ahead and close and apply. So we are done. Okay, and so best thing, I will share this PBX file for you all, and also I will send you an assignment later sometime today. You can start practice it tonight or tomorrow also, right? And tomorrow evening also free. Okay, you practice, and day after tomorrow you can submit it, or else we'll discuss the solution day after tomorrow. Okay, but discussing solution and all will take longer time. You just practice it, and solution also will share it. Okay, you compare my file with your file and see, what is the difference between those two. Okay, in case you don't understand, we will help you out on that. Fine. So we are done with all the things, right? Sales now has all the columns in it here. So we will look at there is something else called append queries. That is pretty straightforward. That one we will continue from day after tomorrow. Okay, so 1.5 hour we spend, and day after tomorrow also 1.5 hour, so that tomorrow, right, tomorrow 1 hour that will be covered, day after tomorrow and today, right? So the one way it is beneficial for you also, you will have some time to practice it, because you need to come up to speed quickly. Please work hard, practice it. Okay, if you don't understand, break your head and try to understand logically also. Okay, try to relate, and it's not a rocket science, very easy to understand. But if you need to relate with my SQL queries, how I showed you here, right? So why do I the same thing? We have to do it in GUI, that's all, right? So we in the GUI, in the sales table, I selected product number, and then the product table I select the product number. That's all. So both the columns from these two tables became gray color. That means these two columns are joined together with this common column. So that is how you need to relate this one with that one. Okay. All right. Fine. So any questions so far? I'll save it so that I will share this file to you. You can use it, this one. Okay, the file name will be like the ex underscore merge underscore the text and other things, right? I'll put it that way. Date also. And the number calculations we'll discuss it day after tomorrow. It's pretty simple. It's a GUI based only. You can do it that also, okay? And again, text also, you see to that, right? Play around the text related function. Text dot middle, text dot remove. Remove certain words from the text, okay? Try that one also. Don't go by literally whatever I teach you. Go to the Microsoft site, or you can go to any Google also, right? For example, you just go here. Lot of resources are here. For example, text transformation. Look here, text transformation Power BI. You just type it. Text modification with Power Query. You just select it. Click here. Because in the training we cannot cover everything. It will take 1 year. Look here how to convert lower case, upper case. It's all by clicking the menu you can do it. But programmatically how we can do it? Here he did not give, right? It's not real meaning. Yeah, commands. Text transfer in Power BI. Instead of saying that, Power Query commands, right? Power Query commands. And you have something like, what is Power Query? Complex transfer. See, here he mentioned here complex. I don't want to get into complex. Just try to practice all these things whenever you have time, right? Probably today night when you are free, start work on it. Text dot upper. The syntax, they have given the example also. Here what you do is, inside this you need to specify our, for example, we have a customer table. The customer table, what a customer name is there, right? You make that as an argument here, okay? You pass that customer name here. Here instead of ABCD, customer name. So that customer name column will become a capital letter, upper function, right? So, similarly you can look here, text functions, a lot of functions are available. See, docs.microsoft.com, US Power Query, text hyphen upper. Look here, text dot repeat, text dot replace. Try to be familiar with all these things. Here they have given example, replace. How do you replace the by a? So I want to replace the by a. Yeah, a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this is what the output I needed. So what he is doing it, he is searching the from this pattern, and then he replaced the the by a. That is what it is. So text dot replace function. Try this one, right? Simply what you do, right? You just go and copy it. Otherwise, the simple thing is just go here, home, and click transform data. Simply what you do, right? You can go to add column and custom column. Take any of the table, small table, right? So here what it is, here in this case you need to do it, copy paste it. Here the replace CMD. Okay, how do I see that? Look here, you got it, right? Same, create a new custom column. Try all possible combination. Okay, try everything. Look here, this is the text, right? The quick brown, but it replaced the D by A. See, the first letter is A. Okay, likewise you keep try everything. I just showed you this one also, but don't take it for granted. Even Edureka and IntelliPart, they don't train this much. Many students, they shared their videos, they joined previously, and they don't go this much out, and they simply go and teach what is what. That's all, you're gone. So text split, name, address, phone number. So split, see, for example, you just simply copy it, and to understand this, go to the query editor and go to the custom column. Add a column, go to column, click custom column. Don't do anything here. Here you simply copy paste it, okay? And then here you specify split some meaningful name, CMD, right? To understand that. Look here. So can you see, if you see something like list, you find something like this arrow, you need to expand it. See, expand to new rows, that's all. Look here, name, address, phone number. What was there here? Name, address, phone number. So what it says is, so this is the delimiter, okay? So you remove the delimiter, name, address, phone number, name. Okay, so this is separate column, separate column, separate column, row, right? Separate, you see name, address, phone number, name, address, phone number. If you give like this, it is doing this. Or else, when you expand it, extract values. Select extract values, and you can use none, okay, simply none, and click OK. Single line, okay, instead of splitting it and showing it different, right? Name and the next row address, phone number, right? I don't want that in the single row itself. Second option, you need to select this second option. I'll repeat it one more time. Look here. Oh, sorry, I deleted it. Okay. Now you understood, right, how to do that? You watch my video, you pause it and try to practice it. Watch my video step by step, and then see, yes, you have to have patience, okay? So, and then try, these are the important commands: pad start, pad end, right? So pad end, name, and try with all this thing. Try to understand what is happening. Analyze, use your brain. For each and every command, don't come after me. So this is not working, this is not working. One guy, simply tried this. He sent a message, I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to. So here you have, for text function alone, hundreds of functions are there. If I try cover only this one, when will I complete all the things, right? Important functions I will cover it. And meanwhile, you try to explore everything. The more you know, in the real-time scenario, you can handle any kind of problems. See, here they've given you example also. Start practice. It may not take much time, but again, don't spend too much of time. Like a str pad, right? Str pad, whatever function I say, replace. The replace is important, and then a split is important. Split, replace, start with, to list, trim, upper, lower, and contains, right? Ends with. This is enough. Okay. And text insert also, text length also you need to learn it. Text middle, that's all. Pad start, but this is important. Pad start, trim, whatever I told you, as of now, right? You note it down. It, you watch my video, and then practice it. Everything. Text dot select also you can go, but rest of them you can ignore it. Okay, we cannot spend learning all the things. And again, format is also important. See, formatting is also important. So look here, the time for the 10 km run LN. So for that, he has used it like this. Okay, text dot format function. You see how it works, right? Start practicing it, and everything cannot be covered. If I cover it, it will not be possible to complete it even in 3 months or 4 months. Okay, start practice it side by side. But whatever I told you, if you practice in text function, that is enough. And other things are like table, row format and all, we'll see it later. Okay, so this is the thing. You note it down. I will send it to your WhatsApp number also. In the chat window also I will send you. You just copy paste it. Immediately copy paste, because I'm going to end the session now, and then you can go to that link, and also I'll send it in your WhatsApp, this link. Okay, don't worry. Fine. Yeah. Okay, good night. Have a good day, and we will circle back a day after tomorrow same time. Okay.
Recording stopped.